Just when you thought laryngitis would keep me down, here I go with an introduction to chapter 5.4, writing linear equations in standard form. Standard form, it usually appears with the equation ax plus by equals c. And a, b, and c are numbers. And you're probably saying, what? In kindergarten, I learned ABC as letters, miss. What are you talking about? Well, I did say A, B, and C are numbers. That means they're going to be numbers. Because remember, in algebra, those letters are known as variables. And variables have a value. And those values are usually numerical values. So A, B, and C are going to be numbers in the linear equations that we'll be working with today. So, moving on. In this section, we're going to rewrite the equations into standard form. Again, ax plus by equals c. So a and b are integer coefficients. If you don't know what integer coefficients are, let's back up for a sec. Integers, they could be a positive, a negative, or 0. So a positive number, a negative number, or 0. Without, that means absolutely none, without a fraction or decimal involved. So no fractional pieces, no mixed numbers, no decimals, no decimal points. What's a coefficient though? Coefficient is like a coworker. A coworker is somebody you work with. A coefficient goes with something. It goes with that variable. Coefficients are numerical values in front of those variables. In our standard form, it's in front of an x or a y. So, the directions state they want you to write the equations into standard form with integer coefficients. That's our goal and objective today. So example 1 that I'm sharing with you. Example 1 says if the linear equation has been written as an equal to 0, then you must move the number that's not attached to the variable x or y. Make sure the x term is first and the y term is second, of course. So you're given x minus y minus 9 equals 0. Well, there's an x, there's a y, but how do I get that negative 9 or minus 9 to move? It doesn't have a variable. Notice in the step, I added 9 to both sides. Therefore, I could cancel out negative 9 with a positive 9 by adding 9 to both sides. Both sides of what, you ask? Both sides of the equation, of course. An equation because I have an equal sign. I must treat them fairly and treat both sides with a plus 9. So my 0 has a 9 added to become 9. You said there's an a, b, and c are all numbers. Notice I put in 1 in front of x and y because a and b in this case would be a 1. So what was my goal again? My goal is to get x and y together and anything without an x or y variable on the other side. So I've started by just setting up my goal. What do I want my equation to look like? Something's got to go in front of x, something's got to go in front of y, and something without an x or y has to go to the other side. Well, what's in front of my x? What coefficient is in front of my x? There's my x. Oh, it's the number 6. It's a positive 6, so I put positive 6 in the first box. Where's my y? There it is. And in front of my y is a negative 4. I drop that down in the next box. So I must have something that doesn't belong. It's kind of like finding the odd man out. You gotta go. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you ever come back. Opposite of positive 7 is negative 7. So I subtract 7 from both sides, and of course, 0 minus 7 is negative 7. So I've got negative 7 to fill in that last box. I could stop there, and that'd be an acceptable answer. But there are other ways to write it. Notice 6x minus 4y equals negative 7 really means the same thing. But what's different about it? Notice there's a minus sign in front of the 4y. Instead of plus negative 4y, I have minus 4y because that is the most simplified form. We know that a positive and a negative together can be simplified to make a single negative. Sometimes we like to interchange minus and negative signs. Notice whenever we have a coefficient, we always look to the sign in front of it to determine whether the number is positive or negative. Okay, so I've set it up. I've got something to fill in and something that has to go. You guessed it, negative 8's gotta go. Hit the road, Jack. Opposite of negative 8 or minus 8 is plus 8 or positive 8. So when I add 8 to 0, what do I get? Well, if I have nothing, and I gave you 8 slices of pizza, how many would you have? 8 slices. Well, you might have had them before you ate them. Get it? Ate them? Sorry, I know it's a corny joke, but at least it made me laugh. Now I've got to figure out what's in front of x and y. Oh yep, there's my 3 in front of x. And there's my y. A 5 goes in front of my y. So 3x plus 5y equals 8. Notice there were no two signs together, so I didn't have to simplify. There was no positive or negative. My next question says 3 plus 4x minus y equals 0. There's my x and a 4 in front of it. So I'm going to drop down that 4. There's my y, but there's no number in front of it. Well, there is a minus sign, and we did say to take the sign in front of it to help us with the coefficient. Any letter without a number is understood to be 1. In this case, the minus sign tells us it's a negative 1. So I drop my negative 1 in front of y. I've got that number without a letter. It's a positive 3, so I have to subtract 3. The positive 3 and negative 3 cancel each other out because they're inverses of each other. So I have 0 minus 3 makes negative 3. Did I forget something? 4x minus 1y equals negative 3. Oh yeah, that positive and negative sign together can be simplified to a negative sign. But wait, I also forgot that negative just above. Don't forget, it's a negative 3. I could simplify it just one step further and make it 4x minus y equals negative 3. That is the most simplified version. We don't typically write a 1 in front of a variable. It's always understood to just be there. So there's 3 done and 1 more to go. I hope you're feeling pretty confident about yourself when it comes to writing things in standard form, given an equation that looks like these. So you know what I want you to do? I want you to try this one on your own. You can pause the video now and then answer for me. What did you get? Don't worry, I won't give away the answer in writing. But if you hit pause, try to see if you get the same thing I get. Okay, well if you just can't wait for the answer, here it is. I've got an x, I've got a y, and I've got a number without an x or y. The question is, x minus 8y plus 2 equals 0, and I need to put it in standard form. So what goes with x? There's no number in front of it. Oh, well that's my 1, a positive 1 in front of it. That's what goes in its place. So I've got 1x and a minus 8y. I treat it as a negative 8 since I take the sign in front of it. So I've got 1x plus negative 8y equals, Well, that plus 2 has to go to the other side. It becomes negative 2. Did you get it? 1y plus negative 8y equals negative 2. Did you go that next step? Did you simplify it? 1x minus 8y equals negative 2. Did you go further? Try to simplify it more to the most simplified version? X minus 8y equals negative 2. I bet you did.